What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a good day. Thought I would do a little video on platforms. So I know this has kind of been long awaited, been wanting to do this for a while, just kind of never got around to it. And I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. So, whoops. Let me put my glasses on and get a little red marker there on my pinky, so bear with me. The OGs know what that means. All right, so I got a few different bifaces here that I'm gonna be working with. If I don't drop them and burn them all. Then came up with this little sheet. It might be backwards for you, so I apologize if it is. Take a little screenshot there. 3, 2, 1, cool beans. All right, so we're gonna go through 3 different types of platforms. There's more, and this has nothing to do with the edge work or a braiding per se. This is just something simple I drew up, okay? All right, so 3 examples, then 3 fixes on this perfect platform. So we're gonna assume that we have the right angle, a good angle, a perfect angle. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of angle it is, if it's 45, 50, 60, okay, I don't care about percentages. You can see the visual there. All right, so a decent little angle, and let's say we got a little bit of convexity, meaning it's not super flat across here, but we got a little swoosh, kind of like that, all right? So if you were to hit and strike into this stone here, or more so this way, you're gonna release a pretty good sized flake, you know, most of the time. Cool. All right, so the black in all these illustrations is the stone. The blue is kind of where the force is being directed and where that flake will peel off. All right, so in this case, pretty good. Over here, all right, we got a platform here. It's a good, hey, same angle. Problem is, we got a little dip here. And if I was to strike the same way here, strike here, that force is just going to be inserted right into this part of the stone because there's no convexity. It's the opposite. You're striking and you're basically biting into granite in this picture. Let me see if I have an example here. All right, here's a good example. I didn't plan this at all. All right, so every biface, every platform is gonna be a little different, but anybody with 2 eyes can see that, you know, you got a little ridge here, then it swoops down, and then you got some convexity, which is cool. If you were to hit it from this side, set up a platform, you can run that whole thing or come from the angles nonetheless. But if I was to hit right there into that angle, you're chewing on granite there. You know, you're not getting anywhere. Really, you're making it worse on yourself. So in that case, you would want to strike down up until you reach a decent amount of convexity. A little marker there. Whoops. To where you don't really have that problem anymore. You can just kind of strike across. Okay, good size flake. You want me to show you that? It's not super important, but it is kind of what I'm getting at in the video. Cool, all right, so you got the good one. That's what we just demonstrated here. The fix are these 2. Number 1, you can strike higher on the platform. Okay, so here's a good example. Got a platform here. See the ridge? But see how low it gets right there? It gets kind of low. So instead of hitting here, you want to hit above it. And when you hit above it, it will actually run a little ways. And again, this might not work out, but yeah, I kind of missed it a little bit. But you get the point. It was able to run a little further. Okay, you get what I'm driving at there. All right, or you can hit above, or you can just cut that little part out, and then you got another one of these up here. So you're good to go. You can do this by abrading, or you can do it by just hitting it. Cool? All right, third example. Same angle, 1, 2, 3, same angle, but we got a really low sweeping area there. And what happens when you strike same direction into here is oftentimes you have enough force, but then you don't quite have enough force to continue going. Sometimes you can make this work and just and bulldoze through the stone. However, you're putting a lot of unneeded stress on the stone. You can cause incipient cracks or seams, which is really the knapper's fault 9 times out of 10 when you put too much stress on the piece. And anyways, so most of the time it's just going to kind of feather out. Let me see if I have an example of that. Let's see. I actually think this one will do well. Let me make this platform even worse. How about that? I have to demonstrate this for you guys. So. Have to make the platform worse. Cool, so got a good angle right there. Good angle, about like that, right? However, it's really low, really low. Now you can absolutely obliterate through that platform. You just can. But, you know, if you're just holding it in your hand and, you know, that time it worked out. But this is a weird demonstration nonetheless. They can sometimes just kind of, you know, in that case it did fine, you know, but generally speaking, it'll just kind of fizzle out. Let's see, there are no real good examples on that piece. Do I have another chunk somewhere? What about this piece of towel? I had a, not quite, about this one here. All right, I think you guys get the point. Let's move on. Oh, Bill, this was my solution to it right here. So if it's too high and it's just gonna kind of round out or just kind of skim, and then you're just kind of left with an oddball turtleback point, skim off the edge. So I have this little demonstration here. This is a lowering of the platform. So this line is right here where it originally was. We are lowering the platform to center line or below, preferably below, by getting rid of this. So, like I said, I don't have a great example here, but see if I can find an example. You might hear Pete in the background. Let's say this platform is a little bit up. Okay. So this platform right here is pretty much good. It's not quite low enough. What you would do is strike down from the opposite side. Lowering or raising from this angle, lowering from this one. Then you can shoot across. Cool. All right. Move on to the second one here. The second one I have I want to share with you is this. Oh, not that one. Maybe it is that one. We'll go with that one. Square edge. Now I don't like square edges. Okay, if you work slabs, this is not a video for slab knapping. This is for percussion knapping. So I got 2 examples here. The first one is you've got a straight up and down platform never good, typically. But you got some convexity. If I was to hit straight into that flat platform with convexity, it's just gonna bottom right out. All right, let's see if I got an example here. Let's do this. I know I'm ruining the stone. Don't hurt me too bad. All right, so we got almost a right angle right here. Okay. And I'm gonna take a little smaller bopper just for sake of whatever. Now, because nothing was isolated and I did that, it did the same thing in the video. Just when you look at it from this direction, it's a little odd. But from that direction, it just kind of bottomed right out. Okay, so a flat edge. Is it focusing? I don't think it's focusing, guys. Maybe that's better. Anyways, it just bottoms out, okay? So to fix it, you do the same thing we did up here. Is you just shave it, and because there's a little convexity, you're also slightly lowering the platform. Not that that's important in this case, but you're moving it from an up and down platform to a better platform. So instead of having this up and down nonsense here, which to make it even more severe, let's do that. You do what many slab knappers do. You can do it from any direction. I'll go this direction first. And over here, I may do the opposite. Just to show you can really do it from both sides. And you can get rid of those square edges by just doing that. All right, and then you come away with a nice platform. All right, over here. This is just a straight up slab. Percussion knapping this would be absolutely awful. Even if you do abrade that corner and you get slight convexity, yeah, it might work okay. Over here is my solution. So you do the same thing, number one up here. The difference between this diagram and this diagram is that up here we have convexity. We have a little slip and swoosh. Here it's just a flat line, straight up flat line. And so you may have that right there. Look at that angle, that acute angle. It's a good angle. Problem is there's no convexity. This is as straight as an arrow. And so even if you were to hit in, it wouldn't fly down. It would stop somewhere along the way, somewhere about right there. But I would suggest making that strike, which is why I have the number 2 here, making that strike so that you end up with not just this angle, but now you've gotten rid of this as well. And so you have something like that, okay? All right, enough said. This will be the last one we talk about. Just a flat edge, all right? Flat edges. If I ever see a flat edge, I abrade it. That's my solution, okay? Now we're gonna talk about abrading in another video. We won't do it in this one. This is a good example. You got a ridge here and a flat platform. See it? If this thing doesn't focus. Flat right there. Now I will abrade in a number of ways to keep my convexity intact. And now that platform goes more upright than flat. And you can use your pad, you can use whatever, but was able to shoot that right across the piece. Now what's this last one I got here? Oh. All right, so I got abrading. Let's see, yeah, right there, just abrading. So you don't want to just strike that. I mean, if you were to strike that without abrading, I mean, it'd do practically what that just did right there. Nada. You're not getting anywhere doing that. Now, if you hit down and then strike in, which is pretty much what abrading is, you'd be fine. Now, also got this little diagram up here. If you were to abrade that corner, like we did a second ago, you can shoot that flake across. Was this the piece? No. Was it this one? Yeah, we can shoot it all the way across, given you have good convexity. But you can also hit above the platform, and on a flat edge, I typically don't like that. I would like to hit above the platform if it was something like this. I would hit above the platform and be fine. I'd hit on the platform, that's fine. Really, it's a platform. You can hit high or low on it in this case, depending on what you want. I mean, if you want a big boy spall, hit up here. You get you a big spall. If you want just something thin and, you know, like that, then do that. But if you want a thicker spall, do I have anything here? You know what I'm talking about, though. I don't know, this is an example. Do a thicker spall, then do something, then hit a little above, okay? But when you hit above on a flat platform, a lot of times it's not gonna run unless you've really got, it just kind of depends. Most of the time it's just gonna go straight down and won't give you a lot of good. So we have kind of a flat platform here. If I were to hit above, and just so you can see it better, I'll switch boppers. If I were to hit above the platform, like up here, it's just not gonna do much of anything unless you're trying to set up more platforms by beveling an edge. Right there. I mean, you're hitting high on a platform, you know, and not gonna do you too much good. Like right here, like in that case, I mean, you can use it to your ability, but I think next video, we're gonna talk about how just taking weird stuff like this, you can shape it up, and whether you isolate or you don't, you can turn it into platforms to strike. And how you can do little isolation tricks like that, and really you want a bigger bopper to do this, so I'm just fooling around. But we'll talk more about the bifacing stage and more about abrading. Right now I'm just fooling around. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. If you want to see this thing again, I know there are more demonstrations than just this. If I can get the paper straight. And hopefully I can get it where this video is, or you can take a screenshot of this and edit it in the right way around. Or maybe I can. Nonetheless, hopefully that helped. And you can start taking certain pieces of stone and begin to understand where certain things are now. Like I said, next